Hello, beautiful souls. It's me, Christy, and I'm back with another little video for you. But today I want to talk to you all about nutrition. Yeah, nutrition. So, for those of you that don't know, previous to my spiritual path, I was a chef for 40 years. And I did fine dining and farm to table mostly. And so I'm exposed to all kinds of beautiful organic produce, very clean meats and seafoods. And so that is something that my path has been previously. When I started on my spiritual path, um, I stopped eating animal proteins because the more that I meditated, the more those things did not resonate with my vibrational frequency. And they made me actually nauseous, like the smell. The smell of hamburger still actually makes me want to gag. But so I stopped eating animal proteins for almost 2 years, and I was vegetarian, but mostly vegan for 2 years. Now that I've stepped back into the kitchen, as I took a position about a month ago, at the mineral springs at the resort down the road. I am back in the kitchen and I'm surrounded by all these beautiful ingredients. Nonetheless, excuse me, a lot of them are not vegetarian. Now, what I will tell you is the manager of the kitchen is vegan as well. And so we have a very extensive vegetarian and vegan section in our menu. Actually, it's more predominant than the animal proteins. Nonetheless, what I have noticed in the last month since I've been back, I have to taste food constantly to make sure that the flavor profile is right before any of the dishes go out, right? Of course. I'm in the back of the house doing the prep and making all of the main bodies of the dishes for the line cooks. That's what I specialize in is the detail work. So, my point of this video is I want to tell you I fell off the wagon. Yeah, I fell off the wagon. What do I mean? I can't actually say the last month that I've been vegetarian nor vegan, and at first it wasn't bothersome to me, but now today, I really was thinking about this and noticing the differences in my mental state and my body. First and foremost, what I want to tell you is I fell off the wagon because I ate bacon 2 days in a row. So, because I have to taste food and things, and now I'm in the mornings instead of the evenings, I was doing a little bit of fluctuation for the first 3 weeks. But my schedule is set and I'm all daytime now. However, when I walk in the door, there's bacon. God forbid bacon. As a chef, the chef mind of me says bacon is the culinary duct tape, just as butter and garlic are, right? If you wrap anything in bacon, it's going to taste better. However, we need to remember that animal proteins, when you're ingesting those, you're eating something dead, first and foremost. It is a dead energy. That's the first thing. Secondly, we don't know how that animal typically was raised when it comes from the market. Of course, you do if you go to your neighbor or a local farmer, you're going to understand the nutrition that that animal had and the love and care that it went through. However, when it comes to getting mass quantities of things like that, you don't know what kind of stress that animal was under. So, the vibrational frequency of that animal, let's say, for example, if it was living in a horrible environment, and it was like cruelly treated and then cruelly, euthanized. Euthanized sounds nice. If it was cruelly killed before it was butchered, it has stress, right? And stress creates toxins within those meats, and then you ingest that. So you're now eating that negative energy of that animal. The reason why I bring this up is because it hit me like a ton of bricks yesterday when I had that piece of bacon. So I had one piece 2 days in a row. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. As soon as I put that in my mouth, I had realized that my connection in my meditations was a little bit more challenging for me to get to than it had been previously. And I was like, what is going on with my meditations? They're not as solid. as they were. And for me, that's pretty unusual to say because when I meditate for hours and I also go into trance and receive messages. Now, I'm still able to do that. It's just that it took a little bit longer. So I asked myself, what the heck is going on? And I asked my guides, what's going on? And it was like, it's the animal proteins. So you have to understand that when you eat things that are not good for your body nor your brain, they calcify your pineal gland, your hippocampus, your amygdala, and your frontal cortex lobe. And for those of you that don't understand brain science and spirituality, you need to understand that lately, in the last, I shouldn't say lately, in the last 4 years, since 2018, they've discovered in the frontal cortex lobe that there actually is an entire section for spirituality. So when you're eating animal proteins, you're calcifying that so that your brain can't actually connect with the higher consciousness as easily. Things like fluoride also uh, do the same things to your brain. And there's this amazing young man on TikTok. He must be like, I don't know, he can't be more than 16 years old. And he posted a whole list of foods that are full of fluoride the other day. And I was so impressed with his education. Fluoride is a thing that they put in our water, our toothpaste, and in a lot of our foods that dumb us down. It's like saltpeter, it calcifies the brain again, and it's like saltpeter. It makes you sedative. It makes you compliant. And for those of you that don't realize, that's what this is all about, is keeping us asleep and as sheep, right? The same thing with the 6 feet apart thing. I'm not going to go off on that, but real quick, like the 6 feet apart thing is because our aura spreads out, right? And it's about 6 feet. And if we are 6 feet apart, our energies can't connect. They've kept us just far enough apart so that we long for human connection, but yet we can't connect energetically. So it's all about them trying to keep us asleep. Back to the food. So the food part, I really, really was amazed that only a few weeks of ingesting even small amounts of animal proteins, really, I actually noticed quickly I don't feel quite as connected. And I was even saying to Source the other day, I'm not sure what's happening. I don't feel that I'm able to get into my meditations as quickly. It's the meat. Um, this may or may not resonate with you. And if you are a carnivore, you'll go off and say, oh, she's crazy. So it doesn't really matter. This won't resonate with you. If you're a carnivore and you think I'm full of shit, then don't listen to my video. This isn't for you. Okay? Not everything that I say is going to resonate with everyone. Not everything I say, everyone will like. Some people will like my videos and stories, and some people won't. If you don't, move along. I'm sending you love and light. Merry meet, merry part. For those of you that are into brain science, higher spiritual connection, and nutrition, it's serious. You need to understand your nutrition really does make a huge difference. It is so true. You are what you eat. And if I only, now remember, I went onto a mountain for 2 years and developed my own monk program to heal myself at a soul level from trauma. And the nutrition part came after, well, I've always eaten healthy, but the nutrition part of becoming vegan it came after I was already awakening and in deep serious meditations for better parts of days for 2 years. So for me to notice that huge difference, if it affected me that quickly, it just goes to show you how it would affect you, because I have a very strong meditation connection and spiritual connection with Source. So I want to, again, just reiterate, nutrition is everything. Vegetarian and veganism does assist you in having a clearer passage to a higher consciousness. Now, because I really am bothered by this, at the beginning of March, I most likely will be doing a 3-day raw fast. What is that? So, before becoming vegan, every quarter of a year, I would do a 3-day raw fast, meaning that I could eat whatever I wanted, as much as I want, for 3 days. Uh, Anything below 120 degrees that is alive. No carbs, like no bread. These things are baked, right? No white anything, no white rice, white flour, white sugar, um, anything white, right? Because those are all processed and the nutrients have been washed and bleached out of the foods. So typically for me, a 3-day raw fast would be a crap ton of fruits. Like I've got my little bananas here. I always have like fruits and vegetables. I eat a ton of dried nuts, fruits, and seeds. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but there's so much that you can make. I mean, think about guacamole, and you could take your veggies and dip in that. So at the beginning of March, I'm going to be doing a raw fast, and that's also smoothies and things like that because I feel like I need to clear myself. So I did this quarterly previously because the first day that you do the raw fast, you're going to be like starving. You're going to feel like you're not getting enough food, even though you can eat as much as you want. And then the second day, you're going to be a little bit tired because your body is flushing all those toxins out. And so you need to eat more fruits and vegetables with water base so that it's going to flush out those toxins. And then usually at the latter part of the second day and the third day, you start to feel like you have the flu because it's really getting all the shitty stuff out of your body. And then by the end of day 3, what for me personally has usually happened. Now, remember, this is previous when I did eat uh, animal proteins. By the end of the third day and into the fourth, you're feeling so good and clean. Your mind is defogged. That was the other thing I noticed. My brain, since I've been ingesting animal proteins again, feels a bit scattered. It doesn't feel quite as clear as it was. I'm not completely off track. It's just that I don't feel quite as focused as I did previously. So if you're wanting to join me, please watch here on YouTube regularly and subscribe and like the channel so you don't miss any of the videos. But beginning March 1st, for myself, for 3 days, I'll be doing a raw fast. And if you want to join me, you'll be able to do so. This won't be on my Patreon class. This will be literally just for everyone to see what this is all about. And there are plenty of channels on YouTube and Instagram. I think there's Vegan Strong is a great page. I believe they have their own channel here on YouTube. So Vegan Strong is an excellent page to go for recipes. I also have those on my pages as well, but that's one they're really great people. They're in North Carolina and they really are adamant about their nutrition, and they have children. So they give recipes for what children would eat as well. So that's a great place to look for recipes. But if you're interested in joining me on March 1st, please do. And let's go about clearing our amygdala, our pineal gland, hippocampus, frontal cortex lobe to reconnect with our spiritual connection and higher consciousness. So it really does matter what you ingest. The same with your music. It's not just what you eat, it's what you surround yourself by completely. Even the types of music that you listen to. If you listen to negative, toxic music, it's going to keep continuing to plant those seeds of negativity in your brain. So something that is like classical music or instrumental will give you a much higher vibrational frequency than would secular, repetitive, toxic music. News, same thing. People, same thing. So it just depends upon what your path is. Do you want to gain more clarity, better insight, a higher connection with source? Then your nutrition really is important. So, all right, guys, that's enough of my tangent. I just thought I'd tell you I fell off the wagon and I'm going back on because I don't like how it makes me feel when I'm not vegetarian. My body doesn't feel as strong. And that was the whole reason why I went that way, is because the more vegetarian and vegan nutrition I ate, I had a better connection with source, but I felt better. When I eat everyday American food, I feel like I ate Thanksgiving. And if any of you out there have like issues with gluten, that's also something that is really messed up. But they put chemicals in our food that really screw you up. So, enough of my food tangent. For those of you who know me, I've been preaching for years about nutrition, and I've pissed many of people off with my information about nutrition. And I'm here again to wake you up and show you there is a better way. So, peace as it is above is below, as it is within is without. Namaste, guys. Until soon, eat your vegetables and drink water and have some fruit. All right. Much love. Until soon.